I don't know where this comes from. I was in a meeting, a closed-door meeting of the Congress Working Committee leaders yesterday, and I make it very clear, sometimes explicitly, sometimes implicitly, that I'm expressing my personal views as an Indian, as a proud citizen, and certainly don't forget that my own party had declared complete solidarity with the government and the armed forces at the beginning of this conflict, and in that spirit I also express that support. All I can say is I don't honestly see the need for much of this controversy, but on one issue, we are all Indians. And at this time, at the time of conflict, I spoke as an Indian, and I never pretended to speak for anyone else. I'm not a spokesman of the party. I'm not a spokesman of the government. I don't know where this comes from. I was in a meeting, a closed-door meeting of the Congress Working Committee leaders yesterday. I was there till 6:35 for a meeting that began at 4:30. And I must say that in that time, there was certainly no reference to any of this and no reference to me. Now, if something happened thereafter, I am yet to be informed of it. So when I'm informed, I will react. I don't see much point in reacting to something of which there's been no official communication to me of any kind, nor any discussion of which I was a part.
Should not be taken as party's opinion.
But he's correct. He's absolutely correct. I made it very clear. I'm not a spokesman of the party. I'm not a spokesman of the government either, I might add. I'm, for whatever it's worth, people seem to think I have some knowledge about some of these subjects, and so they come and ask me my views. And I make it very clear, sometimes explicitly, sometimes implicitly, that I'm expressing my personal views as an Indian, as a proud citizen, and certainly don't forget that my own party had declared complete solidarity with the government and the armed forces at the beginning of this conflict, and in that spirit I also express that support. To my mind, it was merely a contribution to a very important national discourse at a time when frankly, it was important for us to rally around the flag. There were, especially internationally, there was a relative lack of our point of view being heard, particularly in Europe, the Middle East, the US, and so on. And when stations from those countries approached me, I felt it was almost my duty to try and give a point of view that I believe accurately reflects my understanding anyway of what India believes, stands for, and would have done. Now, I'm not any way official. I mean, I am a chairman of a standing committee, but we have not yet been briefed. Our briefing is coming on Monday. So I have no access to any special classified information or anything. I'm giving my personal opinion as somebody who has been witnessing and watching world affairs from close quarters for a very long time. That's about it. And frankly, people are entirely free and welcome to reject my point of view. This is my point of view, that's all. To which I am, I believe, entitled in a remark.
So Sudharan has already come out again today that he is not happy about being removed from the post. And there was a speculation that you should be speaking to Sudharan to pacify him. Is there anything happening like that?
No, I actually have not spoken to him recently. I did speak to him the day that he was withdrawn and that he moved, and at that time we had a very amicable conversation. As far as this is concerned, it is a decision of the leadership of the party, the so-called High Command, and when we as individual members of the party were asked our opinions, we gave our opinions. But now that the decision has been taken, I see no point in redoubling down on any of this from my point of view. I have given my view. Now the party has taken a decision. We must move on. It's as simple as that.
So you said you were in that meeting yesterday. Nothing of this sort was discussed. But today, news reports or reports are coming out.
On the basis of what?
So that's what.
So you all went to journalism school. Aren't you supposed to have some basic evidence, facts and figures, who, what, where, why, when, etc.? Tell me who, what, where, why, when, then I'll be. I have not received any communication to this effect. All I'm seeing is media reports. And frankly, if I want to base all my life and all my statements and all my reactions on media reports, I would really not be able to do very much else.
Do you think you are being targeted in some way? Because
you folks tell me, am I in your crosshairs? I don't know. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to do my work. I have a lot of engagements in the constituency this evening, which is why I'm here, and I should be allowed to go on and meet them. All I can say is I don't honestly see the need for much of this controversy, but on one issue, we are all Indians, and at this time, at the time of conflict, I spoke as an Indian, and I never pretended to speak for anyone else. I'm not a spokesman of the party. I'm not a spokesman of the government. Whatever you agree or disagree with what I said, blame it on me individually, and that's fine.
Sir,
thank you.
Last question on this ongoing escalation in the borders. Today also there is fighting going on between the terrorists and the Indian army. So how do you see this? Whether it will be of India's interest to continue this, or it will be,
Look, terrorism has to be resisted. On that, the country is united. Even on Pahalgam, The government has apparently identified at least 3, possibly 4 of the 5 perpetrators, and they have vowed they will go after these people whenever, wherever they will get them, and I'm 100% supporting the government on such a decision. So my situation at the moment is we don't have more information than you in the media are telling us. If there are terrorist attacks on our country in any shape or form, we should support the government to deal with it. Terrorism is an inhumane, cruel, absolutely outrageous way of trying to settle any political differences, and we should certainly, strongly resist it. Beyond that, the matter is in the hands of the government. I would wait to hear from the authorities if they succeed in eliminating some terrorists. We'll hear about that. If they have any other actions to tell us, we'll wait and see. To my mind, at this point, the main international engagement which involved striking Pakistan and Pakistan attempting to strike us, all of that is certainly, as far as I know, is over or is on pause mode, and therefore I don't want to stir up any further anxiety. Terrorism is a different matter. You go after the terrorists. We're all